All right, when it comes to fishing in Wisconsin, there is no such thing as an off season.
Yes, Shannon, winter just means it's time to cut a hole in the ice. For the most die-hard anglers, it also means grabbing a spear. Yes, today is day 11 of the 16-day sturgeon spearing season. After saying those words on television for 10 years, it was finally my chance to get up to Lake Winnebago last Friday. Conditions this year, absolutely ideal, not too cold, the ice is thick, and the water is clear. My perfect introduction to a sport that is uniquely Wisconsin. Lake Winnebago in February is a place so frozen time seems to stand still, or as Mark Brewer would call it,
boring.
Yes, Mark is out here voluntarily, hoping to catch a fish or at least a thrill.
15 seconds of adrenaline rush.
Inside the shack, Mark's buddy Tim is riveted.
Who would stare down the hole for 6 hours and for 16 days straight?
Today, he will lock his eyes on a patch of water for hours, waiting to throw a spear at a sturgeon.
I don't miss a minute staring down the hole. Not till I get one, anyhow.
This waiting game plays out in every one of those shacks out there on Lake Winnebago. Like bar dice or sheep's head, sturgeon spearing belongs to us. We have some unique traditions in Wisconsin. This seems to be among the most unique.
This is pretty much it when it comes to sturgeon, and these fish are huge. Prehistoric, basically monsters that are still here in the system.
DNR Warden Chris Shea watches over this winter ritual, a passion treated like an heirloom.
Grandpa's passed down to his son, and now the grandkids are out here joining him as well.
Sturgeon spearing was part of life in the Great Lakes long before the first European settlers. The Menominee tribe was especially good at catching fish on the end of a spike. French explorers caught on, and the practice exploded. By 1915, sturgeon were overfished, so the state stopped all harvesting. The sturgeon roared back, and so did the spearers. This year, thousands of people will brave the elements and spend hours in small, dark shacks, all for the chance to chuck a spear at a fish 16 feet deep. If all of that doesn't make this hard enough, this year things are more complicated than ever. Yes, even a tradition like this is not immune to the pandemic. Fortunately, sturgeon spearing is one of those things where social distancing is kind of built in. Chris Shea says it does feel different out here.
We're talking to people from a distance, doing what we need to do without, trying to interact hands-on with people.
That means drive-through registration stations, where nobody gets too close to the latest catch. Though the feeling of scoring a sturgeon, that remains the same.
I turned the spear and threw it. Thought I missed until I started pulling back, and then he was on there.
Back on the ice, Mark and Tim are ready to make a weekend of it.
If we don't see one today, we'll move again tomorrow morning. Cut another hole, give her a whirl. Sometimes it only takes, you gotta move 50 feet, You just don't know.
A lesson learned from years of experience. No matter how long you stare at the water, the best lure is a whole lot of luck.
You look out here, they got a lot of places to swim where we're not sitting.
Okay, there is one lake up in Michigan where they do a small amount of sturgeon spearing, but it's nothing like what we see here in Wisconsin as of this afternoon. 1,257 fish have been taken on Winnebago, and there are 5 more days to go.
Wow.